Lanier and Sons podcast. Lanier and Sons podcast. Lanier and Sons podcast. Lanier and Lanier and Sons podcast.
Wow.
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 Whoa.
Wow. Wow. Guys.
Wow.
Wow. Microtransactions.
They're tiny.
Yeah.
They're tiny transactions.
Yeah. Microtransactions in single player games. Okay? Single player. Alright? Like, I don't know. You know, it's I don't understand. Like, why are there microtransactions? Period. And then why are there microtransactions in single player games?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, Sil? Why is that? Why do we have that? Why is that?
Why do we have microtransactions? Because everybody wants to put their hand in your pocket. For single player games, my only extensive experience with microtransactions, personally, has been in MMORPGs, mainly just Guild Wars 2 or Inventory Wars 2, as it's been colloquially known, because they like to just throw a shit ton of currencies at you that don't go anywhere, and they just sit in your inventory, and then you forget about them, and you're just like, why do I need this? Why don't I have any pocket space anymore? What's happening? Why did I spend all of this in-game money on large bags so they can just be full constantly? So you go to GameStop or whatever, and you buy like a $15 gem card or whatever, and you go home and you buy more bag space, and then you got to spend more money on the actual bag, in-game money on the actual bag, and it's just super not rewarding. But as far as single player games go, the only real microtransaction, I'm not a mobile gamer at all. I personally think that mobile games are pretty dumb. I mean, it's not that there's not any good ones. I just haven't felt the need to spend money on any of them. Any money that I have spent on a single player mobile game or whatever has been Pokemon Go, and that's only been excess leftover Google Play card change from buying ebooks.
As far as mobile games are concerned, they're all the same game. Final Fantasy 15 released a game, and apparently it's, what is it, like Clash of Clans or something like that?
More or less. It's like oh god, what is that dumb game called? I'm gonna check here really quick. It's basically a knockoff of this dumb war game that's made by that's made by the same studio. Close. It's something strike, like Combat Strike or something, or God. Desert Strike.
Because I was gonna say, wasn't that Arnold Schwarzenegger's game?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, when he was doing the commercials and stuff for it.
Whoa, I haven't had a TV in 3 years.
Oh Lord.
It's something like that, yeah.
You know, that's their only real way to make money. And, if people want to be suckered into paying $1 for an extra life, I say let them. It's whatever. I never pay 1 single cent to play Candy Crush. I didn't pay 1 single cent to pay, to get past the level, and I kind of feel proud of it in a way,
How necessary is it to actually spend money in Candy Crush? I've always taken the crack cocaine approach to Candy Crush, and just not even once.
I mean, well, they hit you with a timer. You only have so many tries before you have to wait a certain time period. And then people who are impulsive or feel like they have a lot of momentum, they will go and they'll be like, well, I guess I could pay this dollar to keep on going, get some more lives and all that stuff. So I think that's where mobile gaming is, and I don't see any innovation coming as far as mobile games are concerned. And that's just my 2 cents on.
Same. The only mobile games. I'm sorry. Go on, Ash.
I was gonna say, I've been playing Final Fantasy Record Keeper lately, and that has been like, you can make microtransactions in that game. You can pay to get an in-game currency. However, you can earn that currency just from playing the game. You can earn a lot of it, and none of the no real pay to win aspects have gotten in the way of me playing it, and I've been really enjoying it. As far as mobile games go, that one's pretty. You can do microtransactions, but you almost never need to, which is really nice.
So you're telling me there's ethics? There's an ethics, like any kind of ethic in a mobile game,
Yeah.
Is Record Keeper the stereotype breaker, or?
Yeah, I think it is. I played it back when it launched, and it certainly wasn't that way then. But they've really turned it around. It's a super good mobile game right now. So.
Okay. Well, as far as single player is concerned, can y'all think of any games, that are just single player experiences that felt the need to provide microtransactions? Like the one top of my mind, probably the latest story is Middle Earth Shadow War.
Yeah.
Oh man.
that one's like. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna ask what that one's all about. I never heard of that one.
It's the Lord of the Rings game, and it's really the first one. I forgot what the first one was. Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor was really good. It was really good. It had this whole nemesis system with the orcs, where an orc,
This is not a mobile game that we're talking about right now.
No. This is a single player.
Okay, sorry, I got confused.
Sorry. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor was really good. Very good. And I was really hyped for Shadow of War. And then all of a sudden, they've come out with these microtransactions, for this full price single player game. And to make things even worse, it looks as if people love to defend microtransactions and say, oh, well, it's just cosmetics. It doesn't seem like it's going to be cosmetics on this one from what I've seen. And granted, I haven't done a whole bunch of research, but it looks like you can buy skills, or you can buy different types of items to help you beat the game, rather than it just being skins this time. And I was just like, whoa.
That would make me mad.
I was like, really? Like, you're basically just giving the option to people to not even play the game. You're not giving anybody an option. I mean, you're giving the option, but what kind of option is that?
It's a dumb one. It's a dumb option. I feel like if... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
I feel like if you're gonna go out of your way to buy a full priced retail game, I understand a lot of people don't have a ton of time to devote to games every day, and that's it's totally fine. We're adults, we know what that's like. But I feel like if you're gonna go out and spend $60 on a new release, even if you have the disposable income to drop on those microtransactions, like, it kind of takes away from playing the game a little bit.
You know, that's kind of how I feel. I feel like Overwatch, the way that they do their microtransactions. I think that's crap too. I think it's a crap system as well.
How does Overwatch work?
It's a loot box system. Basically, you can earn the loot boxes in game, which is good. You can earn the loot boxes by leveling up, and that's straight. But you have an option to buy. And I don't care what anybody says, it's essentially gambling. You don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're buying. You just hope. And when events come around in Overwatch, I'm pretty sure Blizzard just jump in a pool of money. You know, thinking about all the boxes that people are going to try and buy just so they can get, you know, this limited edition Diva skin or the Mercy Halloween skin, and just hoping at a chance. And I feel like they should be subject to the same rules that, you know, gambling organizations do. That's my 2 cents. You know, I feel like if you're gonna have the options there to buy optional in-game currency, people should be able to know what they're buying.
That makes sense.
I don't think that's not too reasonable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that it also kind of makes sense from like a sort of moral perspective, because like, let me tell you how, and this was something that only ever came to light like in my personal life recently. We always had this little, like, it was probably like, I don't know, like one of those little Kmart electronic, like McDonald's Sonic the Hedgehog, like little video game barely situations. And it was a slot machine, and I remember my mom was always like addicted to this thing. Like, she was on it like constantly. And recently we were having a conversation. She just like briefly mentioned how she like probably has a gambling problem, and like, there really doesn't actually have to be any like exchange of money for like that kind of thing to get triggered, I guess. So like, I don't know if that's like morally irresponsible. That's not my decision to make for people individually. They're gonna do whatever they want regardless. But I feel like a lot of the times the slot machine thing can like really get to people. And like, gambling's not like a super horrible, like, it's not like crack, but
I feel
like they should have at least like a disclaimer on it or something.
Yeah. I want to say there was one country that told Blizzard that they were going to have to be subject to a certain set of rules doing that kind of business. But we're kind of getting off subject because that's a multiplayer game. It's still kind of on that full price side. It's, you know, especially for consoles. But you know, when it comes down to single player titles, man, there's some other ones. Is there any ones that you guys can think of?
Not really, personally. Single player multi-transactions are kind of like this. I never really knew that was a thing until today.
Yeah, they're rare, but I remember one particular example. Back in the day, the original Dead Space had single player microtransactions, where you could buy like the resources used for crafting like weapons and stuff. You could earn them all in game. Like, you weren't required to buy them, but if you buy them with real money, you can get them a lot faster, and it's, you know, just makes for like an easier time going through the game. I remember it being really controversial then. And now it's just like with this Shadow of War stuff, it's like, hey, let's try that again.
Deus Ex had it.
Yeah,
Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Last one, right?
Yes, the latest one, and it didn't do it any favors either. Here, let me read here. It says, yeah, completely, offline basic experience, and their Eidos, I guess, decided that they wanted to charge microtransactions, and to this day, I believe Mankind Divided still have a mixed rating on Steam because of it. And I don't understand, like, yeah, there's clowns out there that are buying this stuff. But what does it say for the image of your game to put something in there like that? Single player? Like, if Shadow War came out and it was $20-$30 game, then there could be a debate. You charging full price for this, dude.
Or if it were like part of a multiplayer mode.
Exactly. If you want to make more money, make a DLC, make an expansion, make a story expansion, or something.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they will, but maybe that's kind of where the line stops. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could at least provide me with a non-superficial reason to spend money on this.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess like non-superficial in video games are kind of like the same thing, but I mean, in the context of the video game, if I had to pay $60 just to like play the damn thing, and then you wanted more money out of me so that I could not have to, like, I don't know, like restart like, I don't know, an hour since my last save just for the sake of pulling some example out of my ass, that would make me mad.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It really, people are buying it. The only reason this exists is because people are buying it. Somebody's buying it. Somebody's purchasing these microtransactions. And I want to know who's doing it.
Marcus, it's me. I have a confession to make. I gave $10 to Blizzard for Overwatch loot boxes once.
You bastard.
And it just spiraled out of control.
I think we covered Overwatch pretty good in that sense. I just feel that Overwatch is kind of gray. It's just for those single player, those story driven experiences. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a list from GiantBomb.com, and they are saying that Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, had microtransactions.
Really?
It doesn't give much information as to like what kind of microtransactions they offered, but wow.
Yeah, I think Uncharted 4 had a multiplayer mode. I think that might have been it.
You know what? Yeah, that's probably correct. That's more like, yeah, that's actually correct. They did have a multiplayer. They had a multiplayer in 3, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Shadow War doesn't. They don't have a multiplayer. Let's just clear the air.
Can't do whatever.
I mean, it's. I don't know. I don't know what. First off, and this is something that's very low key, and not many people really know, but Warner Brothers, WB Games, is one of the most crap companies there. That's running one of the most crap publishers out there, dude. Like, people want to rag on EA. People want to rag on Ubisoft. People want to rag, and people want to rag on Konami for good reason. But nobody pays attention to the just nonsense that Warner Brothers just dishes out. Like, Warner Brothers is something else.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember that whole controversy with them like paying YouTubers to say positive stuff about the about Shadow of Mordor a few years ago?
I don't remember.
No, I never heard about that.
Okay, so get this. Basically, some big-named YouTubers, I think including PewDiePie, although he was just one of many in this scenario. They got paid by Warner Brothers to and they were given early copies for review of Shadow of Mordor, with the stipulation, and they weren't supposed to talk about this due to an NDA, but it was with the stipulation that they used really nuanced language, but basically they couldn't give a negative review of the game, and that got out to the press, and it got messy. Yeah.
Didn't they do something similar with that shitty Final Fantasy mobile game?
Yeah. Very, very recently.
I think I heard, I don't know, somebody that does Final Fantasy stuff on the YouTube talk about how they like turned down a shit ton of money to talk about it. They didn't specify exactly which game they were talking about, but everybody in the related videos was talking about this horrible Final Fantasy game, talking like it was an actual game. No,
it was a new Empire.
One. The Clash of Clans one.
Oh, wow, yeah.
It was like this video of somebody talking about how they didn't want to review this unnamed game, and then everybody else in the comment, some of them were like pretty damn prominent, like Final Fantasy YouTubers. Like, I don't think Mr. Happy did it that I saw specifically, but I wouldn't be surprised if he would.
He talked about it. He was offered. I remember him. He made a video about it, about how he was offered, and he turned him down.
Yeah, it's just it's just real seedy. Something about it just doesn't sit right for me. And I personally think that the phrase ethics in game journalism is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole entire life. But that doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand what they were going to show.
Yeah, what are you even gonna, like, alright, we're gonna build some structures and look at this Final Fantasy skin. Ooh, look at Noctis in the corner. We have crystals instead of coins, because get it? Final Fantasy loves crystals.
You guys all like Final Fantasy, right? Well, do we have a Final Fantasy game for you?
You know what? Watch that actually be something that's, like, relevant to what goes on in that game, too.
Final Fantasy 15, what is it called? A New Kingdom or something?
A New Empire.
Final Fantasy A New Empire has the same features of any other microtransaction game that you've played on mobile.
So first you go to your app store and you type in Final Fantasy 15 A New Empire, and then you type in, once the game installs, you go right to the cash shop and type your credit card number in there, and then you click every button. This game is so fun. 5 out of 5 stars.
Let's pay PewDiePie $1 million to promote it. I mean, basically, I don't know.
Kids, ask your parents for their credit card number.
You know what? Just go in their purse. Just take it. You're fine. Daddy doesn't look at his credit card statements anyway.
They won't get that mad. We promise.
You know, we want a charge back to us. I mean, really. Man, I don't know what these guys are thinking. Microtransactions they're kind of stupid. I feel like that should be earned in game. I think it would have people play games longer, and I think that would lead. I believe that would be better for games to sell DLC if people are playing their games longer. You know, I think it would be better to sell expansions, real expansions, not Destiny expansions. We're talking about real expansions, okay? You know, we're talking Witcher level type stuff.
Yeah, story-based DLC.
Exactly. As far as the multiplayers go, a lot of the time with the multiplayer, it is just cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, hey, maybe I wanted to. Maybe I'm poor or whatever, and I didn't want to. You know, I wanted that skin or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be one of those things too.
I don't know. I don't think there's personally anything like having cash shop exclusive items, because I will say I've spent, I won't say a shit ton. I'm gonna go say bad words again. But I've spent more than $50 on just cosmetic items from Guild Wars 2 over the years for exclusively fashion reasons. And like they do have like some utilitarian things, but they're really pretty negligible at end game. Like I think the most useful items they have is they have like salvage kits that like never run out, that you have to like, I don't know, feed some kind of crafting material into in order for it to work, and it just takes away your useless copper ore rather than use up your things. But you don't get copper ore in end game zones, and let me tell you, nobody in Guild Wars 2 is going to a low level zone for any reason other than just map exploration. So like it's a little useful, it's not really useful. The extra character slots, I guess that makes sense. The bag space also makes sense, I guess. You could just manage your damn inventory better. You already gave us a freaking wallet so we could put all of our dungeon currency in it. Why can't I put this garbage in here?
Microtransaction.
Yeah, microtransactions, exactly. Terrible.
I don't know, man. As long as people keep buying it, it'll be here. If people stop buying it, it'll go away. You remember the what was it that PlayStation started doing with the PS3? What was it? Oh, the online pass. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, the old EA online pass from like way back in the day. Whenever you would buy EA games, or certain EA games anyway, if you bought them like new, there'd be a code inside of the box that you would redeem on the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, and that would give you access to the game's multiplayer modes. If you bought the game pre-owned, there's a good chance that there wouldn't be that code inside of the box, or if there was a code, it might not work because it had already been redeemed previously, and that would lock you out of doing any multiplayer stuff.
What company did that again?
EA.
I'm never giving them any of my money again. I mean, I don't sports, so I don't really give a shit about EA, but no. Just no.
It was dumb. They caught on that people weren't happy about it, and they stopped doing that like back in 2012 or 13, I think. So it was only a few years ago, but it was still like shit. It was just shit.
That would make me inconceivably angry.
Yeah.
Especially as somebody who's like, well, obviously I didn't know they were even doing that. Like, not super on top of my video game news all the time, and might have bought something not knowing that was the case.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I would be like literally on the phone with somebody's CEO like the next day.
Yeah, that would make any reasonable person livid. Understandably so. It was a really shitty business practice.
Like, yeah, I bought it used. I could probably just take it back to GameStop. But like, what the fuck? Actually, you know what? Speaking of freaking GameStop, I don't even think you can return used games. I think once you take it out of the store, you're just fricked.
They actually have a. Speaking
it's
as a former.
Actually.
Yeah, they give you a week. And if you hold on to the receipt, they're usually pretty good about working with you. Although I think there's a little bit of like employee like discretion on that too. Like they can kind of fudge it a little bit if they need to.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get on the GameStop on another video.
I know, right? That's a whole other video in and of itself.
Oh my god. Get hyped for that one.
That'll be exciting. Like, comment, subscribe.
Anybody got any closing thoughts for a microtransaction?
EA sucks. That didn't even happen to me. EA sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like secondhand mad.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Tori, you got anything?
Keep microtransactions out of single player games. With like mobile games and multiplayer games, I can kind of understand it, especially if the game's free. But you got to make money somehow. But in single player games and stuff like Shadow of War or like in Dead Space back in the day, or even like something like Overwatch that is multiplayer, but still, charges a bunch of money right out of the gate to get you playing. Just keep them out. It's so it's gross. It's greedy.
People are getting smarter. People are going to get smart if they aren't, and they're just gonna be like, "Why don't what are we doing?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Shadow War. It's gonna take some good reviews, some good reviews for me to want to get that one now. I don't support that kind of business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's something that's just drop dead stupid, I can't support it. That's multiplayer. That's microtransactions and single player titles. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Hey,
that said, I might still buy something on Mog Station on Final Fantasy XIV.
I don't see that as some people may want to correct me on this, but I don't see that as a microtransaction. I see that as a standalone optional item purchase.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of microtransaction, I think it's something that you like. It's something that you have to pay for the same good over and over again. Does that make sense?
Oh, totally.
If you go and pay for a glamour, or you go and pay for a mount, that mount's yours, and that's it. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You keep that good. But with a microtransaction, let's put Overwatch. When you buy a loot box, you continuously keep buying the same product, and
Yeah, it's a consumable.
Yes, it's consumable. That's a good way of saying it. Final Fantasy 14. I don't think really has any true microtransactions, or at least I may just be overlooking it right now. So.
Yeah, you can buy pots of dye.
Do you get to keep do you have like a, I don't know what, like, not like an infinite supply, because I guess it'd probably still be one per character, but like if I buy that Emmerich outfit and I make a new character,
I
have that on all my characters now?
It should be. I think that stuff's tied to your account. I created an alt a couple months ago to play with a couple of friends of mine, and I used that character like one time, but he had access to like all the like Amazon promotional items that I had gotten, and like event promo items and stuff like that. All of my veteran rewards were tied to it. So I'd imagine if you, So I think it's just flat out tied to your account.
That's not pretty terrible though. I guess the only real like true consumable Final Fantasy would have would be, like you said, the pot of dye.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the level skip and the story skip, since you can only really do that once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of a micro.
I think that somehow they should limit that to being once per server.
Once per server.
Yeah, like you can only it would be like some kind of like, I don't know, like weird like character transfer Mog Station function where you gotta like pick the character you want it to go to, and I feel like you should only have like, because like what if I want to, like I recently have some friends that started playing Final Fantasy and they couldn't get on Leviathan because Leviathan is popular as frick, but like what if I wanted to just like hop over there to play with them, because I would gladly pay for a character transfer. Like I don't have a problem with doing that, but like I love you guys. I don't want to abandon y'all like that. But
I love you too, so.
like, But like, no, why can't I, like, the only thing that's keeping me from just like buying that story skip thing so I don't have to deal with this long ass storyline again. Like, it was cool when I did it the first time because I didn't have to do it like the entirety of the content up until this point in one run. Like, I had like a month's of wait time while I waited for them to come out with more stuff, and that's cool. I'm all right with that. But I would totally buy another, like, a story skip thing, or a, well, I mean, I guess at this point I really don't know, because like, what if I want to do it again? What if some other people that I know want to start playing Final Fantasy and they can't get onto this new server that my friends that I just bought this level skip thing for can get on? And what if I just am really reckless with my money and I just want to give Square Enix all of it? That should be my business.
You sound like a friend of ours.
Oh no.
But that's a story for
that's
another day.
another video. Oh, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. You know, for a podcast, we're at about 35 minutes now. You know,
nice, a nice tight one.
Yeah,
Not ain't bad.
Time flies when you're talking about controversy in the gaming industry.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Have a great day.
You know, I still haven't thought of anything that could top that.
Nah, we really haven't. All right, on to the next video.
Goodbye. Bye.
Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons. Lanier and Sons.